Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the FordTechMakuloco channel. Today I want to give you a huge update on the shop truck. Now if you have no idea what I'm talking about, what shop truck? What's he talking about? You're not following along on social media? Well, here's the backstory. So a customer brought this truck in for the usual 5.4 liter 3-valve timing job. The thing was chugging, it barely ran. By some miracle, I got it into my stall here. I pulled the valve covers off, and oh dear Lord, the engine had actually melted down on the inside. The customer ran low on oil down to 2 quarts, and it just melted the head in there. So I went back to the customer, said, hey, you need an engine actually, and this is what's gonna cost. He said, nope, and he walked away and bought himself a brand new Ford F-150. I said, wait a minute, what are you gonna do with this truck then? It's a sharp looking truck, it's clean, dark shadow gray, FX4, all that good stuff. And he had a speed pass to the car wash, so guess what? The body's like rust free on here, and the frame is barely any surface rust on there at all. Because he was bringing it to the car wash constantly using that speed pass up on there. I said, I'll give you $2 grand for it as is. It's a deal. So that's how this truck came about. Now, my original thought was, I need a shop truck. I need a truck that I can take to do parts runs, pick up heavy items in the back, like engines, transmissions, axles, all that good stuff, and not really have to worry about it. I want a clean, nice-looking company shop truck, but I don't want to go buy a $50,000, $60,000 truck just to haul parts around in. The other idea was, I need a truck, preferably a Ford F-150, obviously, to drive back and forth to work in, okay? Something nice, something decent, and this really fit the bill. Because you think about it, no matter how much you clean up, you're in the grease and the rust and the muck and the dirt and the sweat. No matter what, you're not gonna be that clean driving back and forth from work. So I didn't wanna drive in my Dodge Ram that cost $55,000, $60,000. I'd be stupid. So this truck really fit the bill. And then I started thinking about it. Yeah, I can use it for a parts truck. I can tow in disabled vehicles up the hill here into the shop, a daily driver. But what about all the repairs we need to do on this truck? Everything on it was original. So what I wanted to do was kind of vlog everything that I'm doing when I go through this truck front to rear. And I want to show you guys what I'm doing based on my experience with these trucks and knowing all the faults with these trucks, this generation, and what I'm doing to eradicate all those faults, okay? Either preemptively or reactively based on what I see in my inspection in here. So of course, the very first thing we had to do was replace the engine. Now the engine that I chose for this truck is from Powertrain Products. And the reason being is it's about $1,000 cheaper, but also I've installed a lot of their stuff in customer vehicles in the past, and I've had 0 issues so far. And when I get these units in, the fit and the finish, the final product has been amazing. So I'm really impressed with their remanufactured engines and transmissions, and it just made sense for this project. Now what I did do is I shot in detail with a lot of tips and tricks how to remove and replace the engine in one of these trucks, okay? And what's great about it is I show you all kinds of things in the engine compartment here to check and either replace or fix while everything is apart. Think about it. Everything is torn out of here when the engine comes out, and you have access to a lot of different things, okay? So I'll have that video out soon showing all kinds of tips and tricks in there, plus the entire R&R process. Just to give you an example, though, looking through here, I went through the whole engine compartment with a fine-tooth comb. So, the battery is toast, replaced the battery. The battery terminals are all rotted out, so I replaced the entire harness going down to the starter. The IWE solenoid right there was the original design that's prone to ingress of water. So I replaced that with a new hooded design. New hoses, of course, heater hoses, upper and lower radiator hoses, belts, pulleys, water pump, power steering pump, flushed all the fluids, PCV lines, the brake booster lines that are known to pop off the back of the intake. You don't want that happening. And then there's other things like the throttle body on there was the original design. Those are prone to failing. Didn't want to have that problem. So put a brand new throttle body on there. I had to buy an air box and air snorkel because he had some junk K&N stuff on here. So I replaced all that. The fan clutches on the 04 and 05 models are known to cycle over and over again. So I changed the fan clutch while I was out. You know, just stuff like that. Went through with a fine-tooth comb in here. And I go over a lot of that in the engine R&R process. But there's a lot of other things I did down below to make it ultra reliable too that were exposed while the engine was out. So let's go down below and check those out. Since I was pulling the engine out anyways, I figured I'd take a look underneath the vehicle because there's a lot of known failure points under here. I mean, just look at it. It's all exposed to salt and water and road debris, and after a while, it takes its toll. So I came underneath here, and sure enough, the transcooler lines were rotted right there at the bracket, right there where it mounts into the front cover, and right here where it clips them together, that plastic clip. And my power steering lines were leaking a little bit here and there, but they had major rot issues where they're exposed like this. And they really rot up here where they go into the steering gear. And, you know, let's say you're going to go in there and change out that line. You think the line's just rotted externally, and you go to pull it out of the rack. Oh, it's seized in the rack too. So again, it's much easier to extract with the engine out. So I went ahead and changed all the power steering lines out, all the transcooler lines out. And as you can see up inside of here, the power steering pump too. The old one was seized to the engine block. I had to beat it off with a 3-pound sledge so I could send the engine core back in. It was a freaking nightmare. So you can see there's a lot of new things on this vehicle. While the engine was out, you have better access to the vent and the front axle, so make sure it wasn't crimped. Checked all that, and of course, why not? I pulled the front cover on the front diff, painted it, and I wiped out the inside so it has fresh fluid and everything's all wiped out and clean inside of there. And I started going through everything that I touched and took apart, even the front axle bolt right there. They like to seize in the bushing, so I put anti-seize on there, stuff like that. Just went through everything with a fine-tooth comb. You know, stuff like the starter looked good to go, so I made sure I put the new battery cables on there, the new starter cables, that I cleaned the terminals really well and put dielectric grease on there so it would not rot in the future. That's a known failure point too. It's all mainly due to corrosion. You can see I have new engine mounts on there. You can better see them over here from Ford. I didn't know if the old ones were good to go or not, so I changed those. New dipstick tube, they're known to rot down here, as you can imagine. New exhaust manifolds from Ford with stainless steel studs so they don't have no breakage issues in the future. You see what I mean? I'm going through and, you know, kind of fixing all these known failure points with the latest parts from Ford or fixes that I've come up with to make sure that they have no issues in the future. So once I got the vehicle running, I noticed the catalytic inverters weren't working so well. This side was okay, but this side was not. And this side is the Y-pipe piece that goes to the rear extension there. So what I did is I just changed all the caps out, all the O2 sensors with MagnaFlow direct fits on there. And I continued it down and out here with a 3-inch MagnaFlow system on here, just so it sounds really nice. This thing is awesome. I had installed it on a customer's vehicle before, and it sounded amazing, so I put one on this truck also. Might as well make it all new underneath here. And once I started driving it, sure enough, the drive shaft was vibrating, causing the pinion seal leak back here that was leaking before. In the 04 model and I think early 05 model drive shafts have these staked U-joints that are non-serviceable. Well, there is a kit from Ford now, but the kit is super expensive. So for my wholesale cost for a drive shaft, I can get a brand new one, front to rear, perfectly balanced, just about as cheap as that kit for one U-joint. And these are regular clip-in style U-joints now. So that's awesome. So I took care of that while I was in there also. And I just started going around and, you know, kind of changing fluids and stuff like that I know were not changed forever. Just starting to get the flush procedure going on there, a couple different change outs, fuel filters, stuff like that, you know. There was some issues with the heat shields dropping down to the exhaust here and back here. I need to get bigger washers for these, but it'll do for now. That's another noise issue on these. And then the rear shocks were blown, so I made sure I put the Bilsteins on there. Love these friggin' things. And then we'll continue with suspension and brake upgrades and all that stuff in the front here too, that I'll record for you guys here in the future. And the other day, I finally took care of the transmission on here. These have a lot of issues with the overdrive servo, clip braking, and losing fourth gear. So preemptively, surprisingly, mine was not broken, but I changed the servo and the clip and all the check balls in there, and that gave it an extended drain where I had to put like 9 or 10 quarts of fluid back in there. So it's a good drain to the transmission case too, and all of the body gaskets and filters. So that was good to go also. But yeah, I just went through everything underneath here. So you can see, I mean, a lot of this stuff looks new because it is. I mean, you're pulling it all apart. I figured, why not? I'll change it, and then the other stuff I can handle down the road. But when the engine's out, it's either now or never, you know? So I made sure I changed everything out on there. That's about it. Let's take a look at a few other things I changed out on here, and we'll just finish with that. Then once the engine was in and everything was running properly, I started going around dressing the truck up a bit. So put on some new Ford emblems in the front there, new fog lamps because they were all chewed up from rocks hitting them over time. New stubby antenna, looks nicer, I think. And then of course the wiper cowl, those always get whitewashed out from the sun. Changed that out, new arms, new wiper blades, all that good stuff to make the truck just more presentable and look more like new. And then the other thing I did was I changed the third brake lamp housing because these are known to leak, rotting out the cab, so I changed those. Look at that exhaust, looks awesome, doesn't it? Sounds great too. Then the tail lamp bolts for whatever reason were stripped. So they're like 15 bucks my cost from the dealer, so I changed them out. Look at that, it looks like brand new. Well, they are brand new. But it makes the whole truck look newer instead of everything being so whitewashed out from the weather over the years. New emblem in the rear, look at that. And then, you know, stupid stuff like the tail lamp lights on there. They were broken and hanging off of there. Bought new ones with bulbs, so everything's nice and new. You guys saw the video probably of the fuel door on here. Common failure point, fix that, so that's good to go. New locking cap on there. So it's just a lot of stuff like that. And then once you get to this point, you can just kind of maintain the truck and it'll look like new. I mean, this thing is 15 years old and it looks really nice, you know, really nice for being 15 years old. So, but that's all for now. I'm yakking way too freaking long. But like I said, it was a huge update in this truck, and I'll have suspension and brake upgrades that we're doing next. And then we'll go into some rust remediation and prevention before winter here. We'll do that during the fall. We'll get this truck ready for winter. That's all for now. I'll see you guys next time.